Oh. Hello, everyone! I'm just casually clicking on the wrong screen, but this is Plankera, greeting you once again with a skinless Shalom. Except for ears. Because I'm going back in and I'm going to continue touching up the tips of her hair, but they're almost done. I just checked the left and the right today, and I think they're looking quite good. Only a couple of spots that I want to fix, but I'm very happy with them. Like, nope. Vertex got selected. Okay, there we go. Ah, hello there, Edgy Kitty. I'm doing pretty good. Just got here. Just gotta go in and fix up hair. How's school going for you? I get the feeling today is going to be another day of much slowly turning her head, just so I can check things. There's still something that feels a little bit off about that tip there. Okay, I think I know what it is. Well, it's good advice, but I'm married. Today is actually my 7th anniversary. We've been married for 7 years now. So, but yes, I mean, it's good advice in general. I don't think people necessarily need to have a significant other to have a happy and fulfilling life. Yeah, we probably won't do much of anything either. My husband and I have never particularly cared for specific holidays or anything like that. We don't need special days. Every day is special. That's the way we see it. Just do what you want to do on all the days. And we do. And it's wonderful. I mean, in fact, we got married so close to Valentine's Day because we knew that we'd forget the date otherwise. This way, it's at least easy to remember. As you can see, we are a very romantic couple. Alright, I think we're good. So now I'm gonna go do the bang tips on the up and down. So this way, hopefully, eventually I can turn her skin back on. And I can stop being very amused by this. Okay. So I did actually feel like the up and down angles looked pretty alright for the most part. Just got a few things I wanted to touch up here. Oh yes, and since I mentioned that it is indeed my wedding anniversary today, every year I draw a silly picture of a kitten and a snake for my husband. So I will be uploading that later today. I like uploading them for the internet too, because why not? Just a silly little picture that I like to do every year. Okay, so once again, I'm kind of looking at this shadow shape going up through here and the highlights around it. So there's a nice little highlight right here, and then the other highlight that I look at is the one over here. And those kind of define the outer edge of this little section of hair. So I know that once I have those looking pretty good, that everything else should be pretty good too. And right now I can see that this area right up at the top there is getting a little bit thinner. It's like if you look at it, the shape changes just very, very slightly. Gets a little tiny bit thinner right through there. So this is the level of detail that I'm looking at right now. Just because there are just so many little colors and little value shifts and all of these little things that define the overall shape of the bangs there. And if I can, I'd like to get them all looking as close to the original as I can. But I opted to not do a very extreme head turn for the upward turn here, so I don't have to worry about things moving too much. Her head moves a bit more to the left and right than it does up and down. And here I noticed the very top of it, the angle changed up here, so I kind of want it to go a little bit back to the right there. Match the exact same kind of curve. The up and down here is a little bit easier than the left and right, because I can just kind of match the overall shapes in the bangs a little bit more exactly. Whereas on the left and right, I have to adjust their positions and stuff like that to make sure that certain parts of it look like they're receding into the background. Here, all of that is roughly identical. The part that recedes into the background is far further back than what you would see in these front bangs here, so they get to look just about the same. Unfortunately, not quite similar enough that I can just copy and paste the original here, but enough that if things are moving around, I can just copy what is on the original and it'll be right. Nice and convenient. Now I'm pretty happy with this part, so I'm taking a look at this outer highlight here, and I'm trying to get it to be about the right size. Here I thought that it was getting a little bit thinner as her head was moving up, and that's not the kind of look that I want, so I'm trying to find ways make it a little thicker and get the kind of angle that I want. Yeah, you can see, if you look closely right through there, it's still getting a little bit thinner. And I think the tip might be a little bit off too. It's alright. This is the most detailed part of her hair, so I am pretty content. Just taking my time and making sure that I get every little piece of it right. The other parts, there's a few areas that matter a lot, like, you know, this spot and some of these and some of the dividers between here that kind of show the overall shape of the hair. but there's not quite as just much raw detail as there is just right there. Honestly, rigging this just reminds me of why most VTuber models tend to have more simplified faces, where they look a lot flatter, and the hair's a lot simpler. Because rigging very detailed hair like this, it's certainly a time. I think it's a fun time, but it takes a while. Just so many little things to pay attention to, and it's easy to get lost in it all. I imagine at the end I'm going to want to go back through and really, really scrutinize every pixel of all this just to make sure that I have everything the way that I want it to be. Okay, I guess I'll do up and down together. It's okay, that makes sense. If I see an issue, no need to wait. I can just go in and fix it up. Being able to go all the way up and down actually makes certain parts easier. Makes it easier to spot mistakes. But I can tell it all must be pretty accurate, because I'm just noticing all these little things in various other areas. Like this white part here, where it's transitioning from purple into white on the tips of her bangs. It looked a little bit off to me, so I figured I'd go fix that. That actually looks like a good spot to consult the mesh. So let me see how these vertices are moving around. Oh yes, because I noticed it, I figure, you know, let's just do that now. And I can worry about the rest later. I'll have to fix this up at some point anyway, so why not now? But the fact that I'm wanting to fix this instead of stuff down here does tell me that I'm not seeing a lot of stuff wrong further down. So it must look pretty okay. So now when I look at the downward turn, to me it looks like the distance between this shadow and this highlight is getting thicker, so it's getting wider. So that tells me that I got something to fix over there. Also, my nose is continuing to be abnormally itchy while I stream. I have no idea why this happens. But it was fine before the stream started, and now suddenly the nose is very itchy. Such a strange phenomenon. I'm gonna have to look into that. I'm starting to wonder if talking is just what makes my nose itchy. But no, I mean, I talk to people in real life sometimes and my nose doesn't get super itchy. Not that I can remember anyway. I'll have to pay attention to that. It'd be pretty funny if that was just the case. Bodies are weird. Okay, the angle on this shadow right here is changing a little bit, but I actually think it looks good. Because it looks like her head is rotating downward a little bit more, so I think I'll leave it like that. Let's go look at some of the other parts. I think I overdid it a little when I moved that highlight earlier. And then there is... Let me see, what did I see over here? Let's consult the mesh, because I saw something with how these little, like, lines going down her hair right there were moving. Okay, I think I see. Just need to pull these guys down just a little bit here. Not too much. They're mostly in a good spot. But just a little bit. Straighten out those triangles, and I think that should do that. I think all should be well there. I do look forward to the day that we can copy part of the mesh and paste it. I think there's a feature request for that. So I'm looking forward to the day that something like that gets implemented. I think it'd be very convenient, especially like on this upward turn where I could just copy and paste like everything from here down, paste it up here, and not have to do quite as much work. That'd be great. That's the great thing about technology. It gives you some tools so you can be a little bit lazier. Don't have to work quite as hard to get the same effect. But that, when you think about it, really has been the purpose of tools all the way since the Bronze Age. For a while, they were just things that helped us hunt or carry stuff better. Eventually, shelter to protect us from the elements. And then they got more and more sophisticated, and well, it just went from there. But every tool ever made is just there to help make life a little bit easier. So we can be just a little bit lazier and get a little bit more done with a little bit less work. I've just always enjoyed thinking like that, of just the steps of human progress and everything that the people before us built. Even if we don't necessarily know what it was, and even if we don't necessarily use it now, it was still a stepping stone. People probably used it for a time and then moved on. I think it's especially clear when you look at the Bronze Age. Because when humanity started out, we had things like bows and arrows, and the arrowheads were made out of rocks, and then eventually they were made out of iron. And it just continued on, and now our ranged weapons are way better than arrows. And they are made of so many things. Production change for guns are actually pretty interesting, of just the amount of stuff that goes into such a little thing. And just thinking about it is wanting me to go through and look up how various other things were made. Because I'm just thinking of our GPU shortages in computers. And now I'm wondering, what goes into making a GPU anyway? Because I know part of it. Of just all the little bits of circuitry and whatnot, but the full details, no, I've never actually looked it up. Now I'm curious. I might look it up after stream. Just to satisfy my own curiosity. That's another thing that's kind of funny to me. I never thought really hard about logistics until I wrote a character. Just a random role-playing character whose specialty was logistics. And then I started looking up at what went into a lot of this, and it was so cool. It was so interesting. It just the sheer amount of stuff and the amount of thought that goes into these supply chains and how things are moved around. I can only imagine the level of skill it took to design some of these things. So, just writing a random fictional character gave me a whole new level of appreciation for what people can do. And I think it's a good way to be. Some of the emergent learning stuff. Where making anything can put so many ideas into your head that you never even expected. It's fascinating. Unfortunately, I really only looked up enough to get a basic idea for how this person might think and how they approach certain things. So I still don't know very much, and I am definitely not really knowledgeable enough to talk about it, which is unfortunate. But nonetheless, I still consider it very, very interesting. And the relationship between writing a character and picking up new ideas and new things, I think is also a pretty cool one. Creativity can do so much for your brain. It just makes you curious. gotta approach this world with curiosity. And it makes the world far better than trying to approach it without it. At least I think so. Why did I even put this vertex here? I don't know what it's supposed to do. I'm sure past me was thinking of something, but I am not sure what it was. Alright, I think the area that I was working on there is pretty close. Doing pretty well on the upward side here. So let's just do those minor adjustments that I think need to be done on the lower side, and we'll just let her nod. Albeit without skin, but you can still kind of see the nod without the skin. It's fine. It's totally fine. Alright. I made right here just a tad thicker, but I think it actually looks pretty good with the slight angle change. Maybe not quite that much, but I think I like the idea, so I'm gonna keep it to a degree. Let's just mellow it out just a little bit at the top here. There we go. Sorry, that was me, not you. You know, I think Windows finally found the right method of attack to get me to install updates. And that was making Windows noises in the middle of my stream. Because, like, I can tolerate having it annoy me periodically, but I don't like having just random noises come up in the middle of my stream. It makes me sad. Especially when I want to have such nice atmosphere, so... Touché, Windows. You might win this round. I might actually reboot my computer today. We shall see. Alright, I think it's looking pretty good. So let's go in and do some corners now. Oh my. Yeah, you can tell that I moved stuff. I mean, look at that. So yeah, things are probably much better. My goodness. What did I even do here? I don't think I want to unset the bangs though. I'm a little bit scared. So, alright, guess I'll just go in and see what I can do. Man, it's really tempting though, but I haven't done these upper parts and they don't look like super bad, so I'm not sure if I want to redo them. Pain. Okay, because I don't think I want to finish the whole thing on the cardinal directions before I start moving into the corners, so I guess I'll just cope. Okay. Sometimes all you can do is cope. Let's go. Oh gosh, they are so far off. Oh, that's painful. Okay. It's okay, that's why I'm doing all these adjustments. It's like they probably seemed really small while I was working on them, but remember, all of this lined up really, really well before I started adjusting things. So that's how far off it actually was. So I'm just gonna try to get the basics in, and then I'll go in and do the details. But I want to get the up and down of both going before I start doing details. And honestly, probably the up and down on this side too. Just so this way I can have her swing her head around as much as I please. Honestly, I'm kind of glad that I got to see that, just so I could see how big of a difference everything that I'd spent the past couple of days doing actually made. Because sometimes it can be easy to get lost in the details and wonder, is it really worth doing all this? Is this amount of effort really going to make the model better? And in this case, that made it astonishingly clear. Yes. Yes, it is. It's making a huge difference. Okay, now I think I can start looking at the bottom here. Oh my goodness, it is squirming so hard. Okay, well here goes nothing. Just gotta break it down and take it one step at a time, because otherwise, ugh, it's gonna be real overwhelming. But it's okay, I think I know what I need to do. Just separate them into my 3 clumps and try to push them around as needed. And it's fine if they're a little bit messy for a little while. I will come back and clean them up once I have the rest of the strands kind of more in place. Let's put it like that. More in place. Okay, I think that's a good starting point. I think the tips themselves are roughly okay. Gotta go ahead and fix the corner of this one, but otherwise I think it's fine. Definitely still a lot of little spots I need to fix up, but I want to work on every angle together. So I just kind of want to get the broad strokes here. Hello there, Pip. That's quite a hello. All is very much well. Yes. Do you have more commission work to work on today? Oh my. That's a lot of caffeine. It's okay, it's good to have energy. Alright. Well, good luck. Oh, that sounds lovely. What did you guys do? Oh, that sounds delicious. I like Chinese food lots. I do many delicious things with chicken, and I very much appreciate it. Oh my. That's a lot of ribs. Man, I swear if I tried to eat that much, I'd puke. But I guess that's, I guess that's what buffets do to you. They make you kind of want to eat so much your stomach can barely contain it. Ah, that sounds like an absolutely wonderful time. totally worth staying up late for. Oh, that's how you know you had a great time. At least when it comes to going to food places. Pretty good. I mean, aside from my kids got a little bit sick. It seemed to be a 24-hour bug, so they're already pretty much over it. But that's always a little bit sad. But otherwise, it's like, yeah, just coming here, doing stuff, and then drawing some more afterwards. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's fine. Kids get sick. It's nothing serious. Just usual winter illness. Thank you. I assure you, I feel them. And I decided to try to brush up on my Spanish again, because I've been super rusty. I haven't used it in years, and I thought it'd be a shame to lose it entirely, so I'm trying to remember how to speak it. I used to be more or less fluent, but I have forgotten much vocabulary. So that's always fun. I like foreign languages. Languages are neat. Yeah, mostly in school. Also because before I got into a lot of Japanese stuff and had an interest in Japanese culture, I was super into Spanish culture. They have super pretty dresses and I love them lots. I see. I actually heard Dutch is one of the easier ones, but I'm not sure, but Spanish is a neat language. Very straightforward, with its main downside being that the people that speak it tend to talk very fast. Oh. Oh, that's pretty sweet. Yeah, I've seen pictures, but I've never been there. Oh yeah, the architectural design in that area is very, very pretty. Yes, it's okay, I knew what you meant. Indeed. Well, yeah, Spanish culture has a lot of neat stuff, and so I ended up learning how to speak it. I actually started learning before school, just on my own for fun, but school made it easier. It tends to, because then you kind of have to force yourself to, and you also hear people talking more often, and this was also kind of before the advent of the internet, when I was still using a dial-up connection, so I didn't really have as many options for learning on my own at that point. But it's been nice to jump back into it. Ah, I see. I remember my first adventure with it was... Oh gosh, what were those things called? I remember in, like, elementary school, there were... I think they were called geoboards, where you'd put, like, a special piece of paper into this mini computer thing, and it would have certain activities on it. And one of them just happened to be that, and another one happened to be, learning all the countries of North and South America. And so I just kind of figured it out from that. I think I was like 7 or 8. Yes, and Flash games. I miss Flash games, man. I miss them so much. Yes, I very much enjoy my stable connections. Yeah, I know that there are some out there, but part of the reason that I liked Flash games was it was a very good avenue for amateur game design. And there are some out there now, but I feel like the accessibility was made it easy to get into then, and it was a little bit harder for a while. But now that game engines are becoming more of a thing, I think it's coming back. So I'm always very excited to see what people make. So hopefully we'll just continue to get a bunch of derpy games again. People just deciding that they want to make something and then they go out and do it. Yeah. It is. It's doing quite well, and I'm very happy for it. The fact that Balatro was able to get a Game of the Year nomination was pretty cool, I think. It is. I'm so very happy for that developer, and I hope he continues to make games. It plays itself, huh? Admittedly, that's not what I really think of when I hear Balatro. But auto battlers and I see. Fascinating. Yeah, it's like I hear about infinite loops and deck builders a lot, and there certainly are there, but they typically mean something different than the gameplay that I would expect out of Balatro. I'm trying to picture it. Do you remember her Joker setup? No, I'm just curious if you remember how it was set up. Okay. That's fine. If you can't find it, it's okay. I was just curious now, because I was trying to picture how that would work. And I admittedly only know about half the Jokers, but, I was just immensely curious. But I mean, in terms of playing itself, auto-battlers and idle games and incremental games have been a thing for a long time. I think incremental games have been around as long as Flash games. They're pretty cool. My husband and I like them lots as a genre. Yeah, you can share it here, if YouTube will let you. I have not figured out how to let people post links, unfortunately. If it won't, you can just message me on Twitter or whatever social media platform you like. There's several that I'm on that have some kind of messaging feature. Okay. Let me go take a look. Alright, let's switch over to my browser and take a look at this. Let me make sure I have it set up right. I don't. One moment, please. And there we go. I'll just leave my background music on because I can't be bothered to turn it off. Alright, so let's see this. Blueprint, I see.
I think we won this run. I think. Maybe just a little bit we won this run.
Alright. That does indeed look like a one run. Beautiful. All right. Well, have a nice time with your commissions. And thanks for stopping by and showing me such a very funny combination of jokers. All Alright, let's see how much small bang work I can do before my stomach demands sustenance. And just how much of this I can get through before my brain starts thinking all highlights look the same and don't know how big they should be. Okay, for this spot specifically, the eye there is actually making it a little bit hard to see. So I think I'm going to turn off this one. So Shalom will have one eye for a little bit, along with having no skin. Yeah, now I can see between these tips a little bit better. And indeed, the thing that I was worried about was actually more to do with the eye peeking through than it was an actual problem. So that's nice. It means that there's no problem I have to fix. Hooray. So I can just casually go on to working out the rest of the details on the bangs here. Hopefully once I work them out this time, it'll be the last time once and for all. Oh man, there's just so many little details on there. It can be a little bit overwhelming sometimes. And I actually think that I have the angle of the tip of this strand in the wrong place too. Maybe I should actually hide this for a moment until I get the bang underneath looking right, but no, it had more to do with the angle of the curl than it did the location. Alright, time to make this curl super cute. Let's go. Alright. I'm gonna have to fix that at other angles, but oh man, it's super cute, so I kinda want to keep it. Let me make sure it looks good here. Yes, it does. Okay, so I guess I'm fixing that now. Let's get that curl to be super cute everywhere. This is part of what makes anime hair fun. You can just kind of do whatever you want. Curl things around, make it nice. The downside is that she has a ton of hair. And that's why it takes so long to rig. Because there is so much hair. So much hair. But on the bright side, I get these nice little strands where I can just make them put little cute little curls at the end, and it looks nice. And it makes me happy. Alright, one more angle here. I don't curl it quite as much on this angle. Just because I want it to look like it's pointing more toward the viewer at this angle. But I can put a little bit of a curl on it. It'll be fine. Just a little one. Alright. Let's see here. Still getting a little bit longer at the end there. Let's curl it just a little bit more. Man, even with a lot of the touch-ups that I still want to do here, I do think that the hair is looking pretty good. Just watching it all move around. I do feel like with all the little changes I make here, it just makes it that much better, and I like it a lot. It's another thing that makes me happy. Art is great. So many great little things that you can do. Can make anything happen. And I'm happy that this program exists, so that I can do things to make these pictures move around too. I had a great deal of fun trying to animate all of my stream assets and whatnot, even aside from my model itself. It's really fun drawing a picture and then being able to make it move. I can see why animation took off, even just beyond being able to do impossible things. It's just fun watching your pictures move around and do stuff. It really is. Just brings a whole new life into them. Alright, I think I'm satisfied with that strand. Now, back to zooming in on the bangs and finding all the little problems with them. Once again, I'm just so happy that I left the corners alone for a while, just so I could see how big of a difference all the little changes that I made made. I guess. English is weird. But, yeah, they were really far off, and now I'm bringing them back into line, but they were only far off because everything I did just made that big of a difference. And it wasn't just me getting stuck on little details and making things take far longer than they have to. It actually mattered. So it's like, yes. Just trying to get through the most detailed part of her hair here, and oh man, the entirety of her hair is very detailed, but here in particular, there's just a lot to it. Let's see here. The mesh in this area is always a little bit difficult because I can see that I transitioned from having all of these rows of vertices here into only having a couple. And so there's a point where they kind of collapse on each other and a couple of points are controlling a lot of little pieces. And so sometimes that little area can get a little bit unwieldy. That's okay. I've managed to wrangle it until now, and I'm pretty sure I can continue to do so. And fortunately, it's also very small. That helps. Alright, I think I will finish up a couple of areas here, and then I'm gonna go grab myself some food. Finish up for today. Autosave here to help me out there, but let's see here. Because I feel like I got most of the stuff on the far left side looking pretty good here. Is there anything else I want to fix in that general area? Let's let her nod for a little bit and see how I feel about things. Maybe just a slight little bit of curl on the tip of this bank here. But otherwise, I think the left little portion on the left turns here are looking pretty good. Gotta have that cute little curl there. Little curls in the end of hair make everything nice. Alright, yeah, I think that's pretty good for now. So I think I will stop here for today. So thank you all for coming, and I hope you're able to create something wonderful today. I'll see you all tomorrow.